rules that generate garbage, not knowing that, of course, that's what we were doing, because all you get out of the scoring algorithm is the number. In those cases, the difference between it was always the old scorer telling us we went down in performance and the new scorer saying we went up. But the reverse happened also. So here was a pair of system states that were a day apart. We ran a system test, we made changes, somebody made a change that day and we ran the system. The old score said that was a great change. You went up 1 2/3 points, where in fact the true answer was that we actually went down a little bit as a result of the change. So this might have been a garbage generating rule, essentially. So the point of all this is, in fact, these differences really would affect, realistically, how our development went much. And certainly would also steer a learning algorithm in the wrong direction. So you get this feeling from all of this that in the 50% range, you're kind of on this plateau. If you have a 20% accurate system, then generating garbage usually helps, because it's going to get aligned against something that you didn't generate anything for in the key. If you have an 80% system, it's almost always going to hurt, because you're generating the correct output that aligns against things in the key. So your garbage is going to get scored as garbage. In the 50% range, you generate a garbage on some documents where you're generating the right events already. It's going to hurt you. On other documents where you're not generating the right event, you're not generating any events, it's going to help you. What you end up with is, the score telling you, oh, you went up a little bit, a quarter of a point or down a quarter of a point, or essentially within tolerance, that you got the same result. So actually, it looks like you didn't, nothing much happened, but in fact, a lot of things happened. But because the alignment screwed up, you don't get a clear indication of what direction you're working in. And do you have a question?
Yeah, I was wondering, because it seems like a lot of this might just be having such a small training set. If you divided your training set in half, for example, and ran it with the same F-score on each half, how much you found variation?
I'm sorry, say that. If you split it in half with the same F-score.
With the same F-score, how much just random variation do you get as you make changes to your system? Do you find that it all depends on the training data? Is it that specific to that?
It's a fine question. Well, undoubtedly, the larger answer to your question is yes. These are small. There's a whole question of how realistic this is to have us all hacking on 100 training texts, half of which are irrelevant. Yeah, that would be an interesting experiment.